short-handed a drive. He scores.
Hopkins from the side of the goal brings it back. Schuster a drive. Schuster scores.
Schwartz who intercepts. He's in on a breakaway. Short-handed. Schwartz in a drive. He scores.
Schuster. Banking over the Minot high line. Here's a drive. What a bad save. Gray Efforts came sliding across in the splits, and he keeps it at 2-2 for feed. Shapleski tic-tac-toe. They score again. And on the backdoor step, it's Matt Blom that tallies again. It's 2-0 Magicians.
Up to Ben Bonebrink. New whistle on towards the net. Oh, he scored.
Bonebrink rifle the wristy.
And wide. Here comes the Magi. Jaden Locke's back in. Turns the burners on. He fires. Oh, he scored. Jaden Locke tucks it. 5-all. The Magi have the lead.
Boy, that's a big goal when you can get one at 27 seconds.
The point across the fog. Ben Oproot handles again, and Riley Oproot turns it in, whistles. Oh, top shelf. Riley Oproot right where Grandma keeps the cookies. It's 2-0. Hit all alone, a drive. Oh, what a save. Highway robbery from Sortland. He goes into the splits and flashes the leather. 1993, Patty Walk called. He wants to stop back, and there's a goose egg still on the board.
Man, that was a nice save. Shortland played that to the tee and made the shooter commit first. Got the leather on it, as Vic said.
Systems go for lunch break when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza. Planet Pizza.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This broadcast on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by ProStyleProduction.com. It's time for Minot High Magicians Hockey.
Comes down low to the near side. Bennett walks out with it. Bennett centering. Feed fires it. Easton Bennett scores. It's 4-1 Magi on the twisted wrister from Easton Bennett.
The growing tradition of Magi hockey carries on today.
He scores, and it's a hat trick for Hayden Schwartz.
With one goal in mind.
Face off one back to the Knights. Minot High is winning the state title. They have won the state championship.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Boy, Tide sends it down. Bennett, top shelf, backhand. Right where Grandma keeps the cookies, and it's 5-1. Out of Gretzky's office, Bennett feeds Hyde at the line, near side. Hyde tunes it in, tipped in front. Vile tucks it home, and it's 5-1. Leanne's handling, whistling, firing into the glove. Oh, he scored! It's 2-0. Heads, tattoos at home, and the Magicians lead 2-0.
It's time for the Minot High Magician Hockey Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza Pizza, the area's ultimate party location, has been serving the Magic City for over 20 years. Call and order now at 701-852-1700.
Colby Enns will start the rush. Enns has a big hit at center ice. Welcome to senior night. Plenty of noise. Easton Bennett absolutely lights up Ruley. There's the hit of the game, maybe of the week.
Now, let's go to the ice with the voice of the Magi. Here's Nick Holberg.
After a thrilling shootout victory for the Minot Magents yesterday afternoon on home ice over the Grand Forks Knight Riders, the Magents have found themselves in a four-way battle for the top four spots inside of North Dakota high school hockey on the girls' side. This afternoon, the Devils Lake Firebirds that come in at 7-5 in conference play, currently sit number 5 in the conference. They're right in front of the Magents, sitting on a record of 5-5-1 in conference play. Today, these two teams lock horns here at the Pepsi Rink in the Magic City. Nick Holberg, glad to have you aboard for the Planet Pizza pregame show for North Dakota girls high school hockey here this afternoon. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location for school parties, team parties, birthday parties, and so much more. They truly are out of this world. They'll deliver for free this entire hockey game today. Just call 701-852-1700. Again, that's 701-852-1700. Planet Pizza, the best pizza in the Magic City. They truly are out of this world. Big thank you to Planet Pizza, their continuous support of Minot High Athletics, Minot High Magents Hockey, and of course the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network. Nick Holberg again here. Happy to have you aboard on this Saturday afternoon. A busy day at the Pepsi Rink here at Mesa Arena. Minot High girls against Devils Lake right now, followed by the Minot State women's hockey team. They host the University of Minnesota coming up after the conclusion of this one. And then tonight to the North American Hockey League, a big matchup with the Bismarck Bobcats and Minot Minotauros here on home ice here tonight. Well, let's look back to yesterday in the matchup for the Magents. It was an old-fashioned shootout with the Grand Forks Knight Riders. The Knight Riders got on the board first of the hockey game. They scored a minute 9 seconds in. Well, that's always early in a hockey game, but it's certainly early if you're Amber Borkus, the goaltender for Minot High, who came in riding 3 straight shutouts into yesterday's game. Borkus gives up the first shot of the game. It was a shot from Morgan Stenseth that found its way to the back of the net. Stenberg had the assist for the Knight Riders. Minot High came down shortly after. They struck back to make the score 1-1. The goal was scored by Carson Abrahamson, her 15th point of the year. She was assisted by Kaya Shaw. Grand Forks went on the power play in the first period with 4:42 remaining, and Grand Forks scored again. Kylie Autry picked up point number 19 on the year. Minot High then had a power play of their own. They struck back at 3:30, just about a minute later. Getting the goal for the Magents is number 17, Taylin Cope. She's got 17 points on the year now, to the tune of 11 goals and 6 assists on the season. The assist on that goal went to Paige Ackerman. She had a big day yesterday. She was our star of the game. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. Grand Forks then struck again to make it 3-2. This time an even strength goal, 2:48 remaining in the period. Stenseth's second goal of the game. She was assisted by Emily Becker. Minot High wasn't done yet. 1.7 seconds remaining in the first period. And the Magents get a goal from Brenna Abrahamson, point number 11 on the year. She was assisted on the play by Alyssa Enns. Paige Ackerman had the assist there. So Ackerman has 2 assists in the first period of play. Nobody would score again in the hockey game until we got to the shootout. And it was Paige Ackerman's lone goal in round number 2 of the shootout that put the Magents on top yesterday afternoon to solidify the win, improving their record overall now to 7-4-2, 5-4-2 in conference play. Today the competition's just about the same with the Devils Lake Firebirds that come into the Pepsi Rink here this afternoon, sitting on a record again of 7-5. They're 9-5 overall. When you look at the standings in girls North Dakota high school hockey, you've got Fargo South, North-South I should say, at number 1. They're unbeaten. They're 10-0-1 in conference play. They're 13-2-1 overall. They're the number 1 team in the conference. Bismarck is number 2. They're 9-2 overall with a 10-4-1 mark on the year. Fargo Davies currently sits number 3. They're 8-0-2. They haven't had a regulation loss. They're 11-0-2 overall on the year. West Fargo United, the number 4 team right now in North Dakota girls hockey. They sit on a 5-6 mark. Here's where it gets interesting.
West Fargo at number 4 has 21 points. Devils Lake has 21 points on that 7-5 record. Minot right behind them with 19 points in the 5-4-2-2 mark on the year. 19 points for Grand Forks. The Night Riders sit on the 5-5-1 mark. 18 points for Mandan at 5-8. So when you look through 4 through 8, they're separated just by 3 points. It's going to be interesting down the stretch, and that's why today's game is such a big one here at the Pepsi Rink for the Minot Magents. After Mandan, you've got Jamestown sitting in 9th at 2-7. Dickinson's 1-9. They're 10th. And Williston's winless. They're at 0-11 here in the 2019-2020 campaign. When we come back to the Planet Pizza pregame show, we'll dive further into the numbers of this one. We'll talk about both teams and who's hot for both of these teams. A lot of points distributed across both score sheets for the Firebirds and the Magents. We'll also talk about the goaltender matchup, and then we'll dive into the face-off here tonight. Minot High and Devils Lake. A girls high school hockey. This is Minot High Magents Hockey.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement. Move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. Using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit PremierMovementND.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. PremierMovementND.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Pro Style Production Live Events specializes in making your event fun with a professional touch, whether it's a wedding, reunion, or party. Pro Style Productions event management takes the stress out of your event so you can sit back and enjoy. Contact Ben Barr from Pro Style Production today to discuss your event or visit ProStyleProduction.com. Pro Style Production Live Events. Let the pros handle it.
My name is Marshall Knott. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit MinotHockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Devils Lake Firebirds, Minot High Magents. Head-to-head this afternoon here at the Pepsi Rink at the Mesa Arena. Dick Kohlberg, happy to be here for the Planet Pizza pregame show. Planet Pizza, the area's ultimate party location for school parties, team parties, birthday parties,
and so much more. They truly are out of this world. Planet Pizza can be reached at 701-852-1700. The ice has been resurfaced. The Magets make their way to the ice surface now, as do the Firebirds from Devil's Lake. I have to say, these jerseys for Devil's Lake might be my favorite I've seen all year long. They're solid red with black and white trim on them. They wear the Chicago Blackhawks look-alike socks, all red socks with 3 white stripes, 2 stripes of black through the middle, the big Firebird on the front. See if they play as well as those jerseys look today. Minot High is going to be in their home whites with the maroon helmets, pants, and gloves. Let's look at the matchup and who to watch for here in today's contest. As you look across North Dakota, the leading scorers, Madison Brown and Riley Ball, both for Bismarck. 46 points for Brown, 40 for Ball. Plenty of points being scored across the state of North Dakota. The tops in the state, however, you can see some of the best players in North Dakota here today. Taylor Cope, 17 points for her on the year. She currently sits number 11 in North Dakota. Kaya Shaw sitting number 12 with 17 points on the year for her. Ellie Black from Devil's Lake has 16 points, currently ranked number 13 according to point production. O'Malley Esslinger from Minot's got 16 points on the year. That's good enough for the number 17 mark, and those are the only girls in today's game in the top 20. When you look at the Magets, they're led by Kaya Shaw. She's got 17 points on the year to the tune of 9 goals, 8 assists. 17 for Cope, 11 and 6 for her. 16 for Esslinger, 7 and 9. 15 points for Carson Abrahamson, 4 goals, 11 assists. Those are the girls with 15-plus points. 13 on the year for Abby Tallman, 12 on the year for Paige Ackerman, 12 on the year for Brenna Abrahamson. 7 girls with 10-plus points for the Magets here in 2019-2020. On the other side, Devils Lake, the Firebirds have Ellie Black leading the way, 16 points. We talked about her being number 13 in North Dakota for point production. Right behind her, Abby Ruley, 15 points on the year for the freshman. 8 goals, 7 assists for her, 14 on the year for Clements Rude. That comes to the tune of 9 goals, 5 assists, and 12 points on the year for Ashlyn Abrahamson. 7 goals, 5 assists on the year. Goaltender matchup today looks like this. Molly Black, the junior from Devils Lake, 1.93 goals against average and a 92.6% save percentage. She's 9 and 5. She's played all 14 games, only 1 goaltender for Devils Lake. Eerily similar numbers to Amber Borkus, who goes today for Minot High. Borkus sits on a 7.42 mark with a 9.16 save percentage and a 1.76 goals against average. There's the stats for this one. This should be a great contest here this afternoon. Glad you're joining us here at the Pepsi Rink at the Mesa Arena for girls high school hockey. Official introductions take place now. When we come back, we'll face it off. It's the Firebirds and Magets from the Magic City. This is Minot Magets Hockey.
Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Systems go for lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. North Dakota girls high school hockey today from the Pepsi rink in the Magic City. Nick Colbert, glad to have you aboard for the call here on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network. Make sure to go to Facebook and like the PSP Network on Facebook to stay up to date with the broadcast schedule. Pro Style Production, the official broadcast home of Minot Magents and Minot High Hockey and Minot State University Beavers men's hockey as well. Minot State dropped one last night. First time since I can remember that the Beavers have dropped 3 in a row. They lost last night to Jamestown 4-1 here on home ice. Wade Regier, the head coach of the Beavers in his time with Minot State, has a .900 winning percentage at home. You don't see that very often. Night number 2 of that matchup is tonight in Jamestown. That might be a dogfight down in Jamestown tonight with Minot State and the Jamestown Jimmies. Let's set this one up for you here tonight. The Firebirds from Devils Lake and the Road Reds. Maybe my favorite uniforms I've seen all year. The big Firebird right across the belly. Black helmets, pants, and gloves. They've got 3 white stripes on the socks, 2 black. They'll travel from the left to the right. Minot Highs in their home whites, maroon helmets, pants, and gloves. Trimmed out in gold along with the maroon that they have on the white uniforms. The big magenta emblem on the front of the uniform. 7 seconds in, the puck goes up and into the Devils Lake bench, so we'll have a stop in the play and a face-off coming back at center ice. Scary situation in that college game last night. Casey Lang, one of the officials, man, was he rocked. Play came into the Minot State offensive zone, the defensive zone, I should say, and Casey Lang was on the wrong end. The referee of a hit that was put on, a big boy college hockey hit, and Lang went down. Hopefully Casey's all right today. Looked at the highlight to that one last night after the broadcast. My goodness, these refs don't have an easy job, do they? Puck comes into the offensive zone for the Firebirds. They take it down in behind them on a high net. Here's Ruley, sends it back in front. That one went just wide of Borkus on the glove side. Puck comes back away down to the Magents. They try to clear it out with Kaya Shaw. They do. They push it all the way down into the offensive zone, but they went off for a change. It frees real estate here for the Firebirds, who send it the full 200, and there's an icing. 45 seconds into the contest. Both of these teams coming in at a 4-1 mark in their last 5 games. Minot High with the win over Grand Forks yesterday in overtime. The shootout, overtime victory for the Magents. Devils Lake comes in riding a win streak as well. The Firebirds had wins at Grand Forks. They won 1-0. Then they were at Jamestown. They won 3-1. Then they were at Williston and won 5-0. Here's a drive coming in. The shot was fired up. That one off of the shoulder of Molly Black. Isn't it interesting when you look at the numbers of these 2 goaltenders here today, Black and Borkus? Just about identical numbers, both riding some shutouts coming into this conference matchup here today. Puck back to the point for the Magents. Handling is Kinsey Field. She fired it towards the net. It was knocked down there, and here comes Kraft up to center ice for the Firebirds. She sends it down, icing waved off. Officials in today's game are Nathan Medler on the lines, along with Kyle Stevens. The men in charge today are Kevin Wilk, along with Eric Steele. Puck is picked up by Enns back in her own territory. She went to her partner and worked it back up to center ice. Goes back away to the far side wall where Kinsey Field moved it ahead forward, but with possession of the puck are the Firebirds. And it's Abby Ruley again that handles and moves it ahead forward. If you're a Minot High Magicians fan, you'll remember the name Regan Ruley that played for the Firebirds in the recent past. A fired on shot comes in, and Kaylee Clemensrud puts it into the back of the net, and Clemensrud picks up goal number 10 on the year, and the Firebirds lead a minute 56 in. .15:04 on the clock, and Clemensrud's going to be on the score sheet. We'll wait and see if there's an assist on the play. First shot of the game again, stumps Amber Borkus, and it's 1-0 Devils Lake. Puck handled by Kaya Shaw in the offensive zone, down underneath the net. Brenna Abrahamson down low underneath the goal line in Gretzky's office, out with the puck. Here's the captain of the Magents on the near side wall. She moved it back underneath the net, went away to the far side boards. It's going to be tied up here. Fagerlund for Minot High. Out to center it came, and then it's Ackerman that sends it right back ahead forward. But it's the Firebirds, Ellie Black, that moved it ahead into the offensive zone. Black went to Ashlyn Abrahamson. Two Abrahamsons for the Magents, one for the Firebirds. Here comes Kaya Shaw back to center ice. She'll dump this one in. Just wide of the blocker side of Molly Black, the junior goalkeeper that watched it go into the corner. Puck was sent back out to center where the Magents take it and fire it right back in with Aguirre. She sent it down to the far corner. First one on the attack is Jersey Johnson for the Magents, but out to center. Here comes Ashlyn Abrahamson for the Firebirds. Back in, fired on from Ruley. Let's listen in.
With an assist by number 16, Ashlyn Abrahamson, at 1:56 in the first period.
So it's Abrahamson assisting on the Clemensrud goal. 1-0 Firebirds with 13:38 to play here in the first period. Puck pushed back up to the Devil's Lake stripe. It's held in there by the Firebirds. They're having some trouble holding the zone now as Jersey Johnson trying to move that one up to center, make that Madison Knutson 44.4 instead. Knutson's got it. She'll just send this one into the far corner on the glove side of Black. Down low it comes. Firebirds back with possession of the puck. This is Barrett back in behind her own net. Barrett starts the rush out of the backhand. She moves it up to the blue line and escapes the zone. And the Magents have to come back into their own territory to retrieve with Kenzie Field. Field moves it up the near side wall. Right over center ice, the red line, then the blue. She dumped it down into the corner, back behind Black. Puck is picked up here by Kraft to the Firebirds. She's going to try to move it back up to center. She can't. Held in there by Abby Tallman. She was on the score sheet yesterday for the Magents. Underneath the goal line, glove side, the puck lies. Puck comes back, center slot to O'Malley Esslinger. She couldn't wrangle the pass, and it's going to come back down into the corner after the Magents blue line sent it down deep. On the blocker side of Molly Black, the puck controlled here by the Magents and Abby Tallman. Tallman went back to Esslinger. She wears a C on her uniform representing her leadership. She signed yesterday to play at Minot State women's college hockey next year for the Beavers. Under Ryan Miner's coaching at Minot State. Puck was turned over. It was fired on. It hit the pipe off the back of Borkus into the back of the net. And the Firebirds, Ellie Black scores. Point number 17 on the year for Black. She was number 13 in the state coming into this contest. That's going to move her up the ladder. She fires. The assistant captain scores. 12:09 left here in the first, and Devils Lake scores on their first two shots of the game. Off the draw, Kaya Shaw sends it into the offensive zone, and the Firebirds are going to move it right back up. Fifth goal of the year for Ellie Black. She had 12 assists to add to that coming in. We'll see if there's an assist on the play. I believe it's just going to be Black unassisted. 11:50 to play here in the first. Here, let's listen in.
Firebirds goal scored by number 7, Ellie Black, at 4:51 into the first period.
Unassisted goal for Ellie Black. And the Firebirds have put up a 2-0 lead. They're back into the offensive zone. Clemensrud carries it in, comes back to Black. Went back into the far corner, out the half wall, up to the top of the circle, and across the blue line it comes. Puck handled by Clemensrud. She sends it in on Borkus' glove side. Puck chipped up the near side wall from the Magents. Trying to clear the zone, not able to do so. It's Black that holds it. She's got the ponytail coming out of the back of the helmet here for the Firebirds. Back up to center. Taking it up to head forward by Barrett, and on the retrieve is Paige Ackerman. She can skate, let me tell you. She moves it away to the near side wing, up to center for Aguirre. Aguirre just dumps it down to the corner, back in behind Molly Black, the netminder here for Devils Lake. Puck's on the side of the cage. Puck comes back to the goal line now with a backhand trying to send it back in front of the cage for Magents. For the Magents, and not able to do so was 21. That's Fagerland. On the blocker side of Molly Black with 10:30 to play here in the first period. Minot High trails 2-0 here to the Devils Lake Firebirds. Puck pushed up the far side wall, DN for the Firebirds. Minot High's going to have to come back to center to regain control and set up shop from neutral with Kenzie Field, who sends it off the near wall and into the offensive zone. Puck taken away here by the Firebirds. They move it back to center here with Houle. She'll send it back in behind Borkus on the blocker side, and an icing is charged on the Firebirds here with 10:14 to play in our opening period. Special thanks again to Planet Pizza, area's largest laser tag playground. At Planet Pizza, free delivery at 701-852-1700. Over 20 years in the Magic City, a hometown pizza place. You know they must be good if they've been around that long. Planet Pizza's the real deal. They're honestly my favorite that I've ever had. Get the chance, try the Blue Buffalo pizza. That stuff is fantastic. You gotta like it a little spicy though, because it does have a bite. Puck is tied up back in behind the Devils Lake net. Out with it is gonna come Taylor Cope. Cope to the far side, top of the circle. Now it's taken by Esslinger, center slot. She tried to move it towards the net. Shot was intercepted there, and it comes back into the possession here. The Firebirds up the near side wall. They move it here with Ruley. Out to center ice and into the offensive zone. Ashlyn Abrahamson here for the Firebirds. Near side wall taken away by the Magents, and Esslinger carries up to center. Here's Esslinger in over the blue line. She'll move it towards the net. Bouncing puck came in on goal. The pad save was made by Black. Back in behind the Firebird net. It's going to be picked up here by Clements Rude. Minot High will hold it at the line. Geary was there to hold it in, but now it's the Firebirds right back to center. They need to wait to touch up on sides. They had possession with Madison White. She sent it back in behind the net of Borkus, and on the retrieve is Paige Ackerman. Far side wall, half boards. Under 9 to play in the first period. 2-0 Devils Lake on top. Goals from Clements Root along with Ellie Black have the Firebirds in the driver's seat here in this conference matchup for girls high school hockey today. Puck is taken into the Minot High end. They move it right back up to center ice, and Kaya Shaw for the Magents moves it into offensive territory with the help there of Brett Abrahamson. Then the puck is fired right back up to center. It's taken by the Magents. They dump it right back in with Aguirre. And Kyle Stevens says she was on the wrong side of the red line, so an icing is charged down the Magents with 8:28 to play here in the first. 2-0 Devils Lake on top. Well, the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network happy to announce that we're making some moves in the Magic City. We're going to be covering Minot High Magicians high school football, Minot High Magents basketball, and Minot High Magicians basketball moving forward. Great news for the Magic City and the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network. Yours truly, Nick Kohlberg, will have the call of the majority of those games. We'll have some help here and there along the way. Covering hockey for the Magicians and the Magents for about 10 years now. Take it over to the hardwood and see how we do there. Puck comes right in on Black. She's going to fall on top of it and hang tight. Face-off will come on her blocker side. The Magents lead the shot column 4-2 early on in this matchup here today, but the Firebirds have the lead at 2-0. Well, for Amber Borkus, let's see how she rebounds after giving up first 2 shots of the game today, sitting on that .916 save percentage and a 1.7 goals against average. She gave up 3 in the first period yesterday, and then she didn't get scored on the rest of the game, including the shootout. Puck is pushed all the way down into Minot High territory. Paige Ackerman back on the retrieve. She's tied up into the corner by Ruley. Ackerman wins the battle there. Ruley's going to get it back in the corner now. She's going to bump it back in behind the net. Delayed call coming here on the Magents, I believe, and it's Ackerman on the interference. Or will it be on the Firebirds? It's going to be on Devils Lake, and into the sin bin for Devils Lake will go 17, Abby Ruley. First power play of the hockey game here for the Magents. 7:37 to play in the first period. They're down 2-0. Abby Ruley into the sin bin. So the faceoff comes back into Minot High offensive territory. In on the draw for the Magents will be Brenna Abrahamson. On the blocker side of Molly Black. Faceoff one back to the Magents, and it ends at the line that handles here. She moves it across over to Paige Ackerman. Dropped down and walking in with it. Firing on a shot from Abrahamson that was knocked down. That was Carson Abrahamson with the shot on goal. Comes back up to Brenner Abrahamson at the line. Now ends handles at the far half wall. Here's a drive in front of the net. That one from Kaya Shaw went wide. Comes back to the bottom of the circle. Sent back up to the point. Paige Ackerman from the line. Whistles in. Molly Black on the pillows, and she made the save. 30 seconds remains here. 30 seconds complete off the power play for the Magents. First power play time of the night. Minute 30 remains in the power play. 7:06 to play in the first period. Firebirds lead the Magents 2-0 if you're just joining us on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network. Face-off, one back over to Talbot. She moved it to Ackerman at the point. Aguirre fires one on. That one went just wide of Black on the blocker side. Tallman back to Aguirre. At the point, Paige Ackerman quarterbacking from up here, sends it to Esslinger in the circle, fires, over the net to Black on the glove side. It's at the side of the cage, and it's going to be tied up by Tallman, who moves it back to Aguirre, top of the circle blocker side. Puck comes back up to Paige Ackerman, had that one go through her skates. She gets it back at center. She's hounded there by Madison White, and Ackerman just skates it right back in. She walks it towards the net, fires one up, and hit traffic in front to win over the cage. It's Esslinger that's got it back here at the point. Over to Ackerman, down to the circle near side. Aguirre fire, save, rebound shot on the doorstep. And the shot was there on the rebound from Taylor Cope, but Black made the pad save. The CCM Leather was there to make stop number 9 in the hockey game. Minot High out shooting Devils Lake 9-2 early on in this one. 6:20 to play here in the first period. Minot High trailing 2-0. 44 seconds remains on the Magenta power play. Goals in the hockey game come from Clemens Fruit along with Ellie Black for Devils Lake, the only ones to report here. Aguirre at the line will hold it. She moves it back over to Paige Ackerman with a backhand. Dished it over to O'Malley Esslinger. Now Ackerman. Dish back to Aguirre. She'll fire one towards the net. Black made the save. Rebound loose in front. Aguirre had it on her stick, but the rolling puck ended up hopping over, so Ackerman comes over to help out. She takes it down to the corner. Ackerman hauled up on the play, back in behind the net. Dabby Tallman back to the point. Esslinger to Aguirre. Back to Esslinger, top of the circle, glove side. Esslinger with a lane. She fires one on. Big pad save again, Black. She's been good early on here in the contest. Black makes save number 10. 5:40 to play in the first. Minot High down by a pair as Aguirre holds the line. That will do it for the Firebird penalty kill. They go back to full strength here as Minot High had a great power play. They fired plenty of shots, just haven't been able to get one by Black yet. Back the other way comes Ruley. She steps in 2-on-2. Borkus with a routine pad save. Her first stop of the hockey game on shot number 3. Puck comes up the near side wall and back up to center. Hammered right back in by Carlson. She sends it into the near side corner, but it's the Magents with control back up to center, and they skate it out with Taylor Cope. She fires it in, back in behind Black. Here come the Firebirds trying to start their breakout back out to center ice, but it's Enns that holds the line. Back down to the corner for the Magents. Kaya Shaw's got it, back to the point. Handling here, drive comes in, save, rebound, loose in front, still loose in front of the blue paint. Black was down on it, she made the save, and the puck is pushed here by the Firebirds, back up to the blue line and out of the zone. Molly Black has been good so far tonight. Poole moved it up into Magenta territory, but it's Enns that has possession of it. Up to Kaya Shaw at center, the one-on-one drill, and Shaw is going to be ridden off the play there momentarily by Haley Carlson. Nice play by the defender there for Devils Lake. Carlson sends it around the end boards all the way back up to center, and on the retrieve for the Magents is Kinsey Field. She sends it right back down behind Black. 4 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in the first. 2-0 Firebirds. At the line, here comes a drive in front of the net. Dabby Tallman has it on the doorstep. Fired, lost the puck in her skates, came back to her. She sent it wide on the glove side. Puck's back in behind the cage now. Minot High and Tallman have it in the corner. Shots are 12-13 here in the hockey game. Minot High peppered Grand Forks yesterday as well. They outshot them 51-16 in the contest. Minot High on their way here today. Need to see if they could put one past Black, who's been sensational early. And Devils Lake doesn't have a choice. They just send this puck all the way down to the other end of the ice for an icing. 3 minutes, 38 seconds to play in the first. 2-0 Firebirds on top. When you look at the shots on net, on the year, Devils Lake has been heavily outshot. Molly Black has seen 364 shots on net. I don't know if these numbers are correct on the high school hockey website. I don't know if they can be. It says the Devils Lake has only fired 19 shots on goal. That cannot be right. Puck comes back in for Paige Ackerman. She works it around to the far side wall. Comes back in behind the net here as the Firebirds had possession momentarily, but it's Paige Ackerman that moves it up the near side wall now, trying to clear. Held it at the line here by the Firebirds. They're back in with it. They move it forward with Ruley. Side of the net, Borkus makes the save on the blocker's side. Puck picked up here by Carson Abrahamson. She goes up to Kaya Shaw, and Shaw skates it into the zone. Shaw's going to move towards the net, puts it on goal. Black made the save on the odd-angle shot. Under 3 to play here in the first. Ackerman's got it back at the line. Whistles in a hard wrister from there. And Black went down to the pillows again, and she made save number 14 in the hockey game. 2-0 Firebirds on top of the Magents. 2:47 to play in the first. Minot High Magicians boys hockey team is on the road today. They travel to Grand Forks to take on the Grand Forks Central Knights. Put the link on the Pro Style Production Facebook page so you can listen to Ryan Cunningham over on the east side of the state calling the Minot High Grand Forks matchup. The rematch of the 2015 state championship game. Minot High proudly hangs the banner in the arena here at the Pepsi rink, representing their victory on that special day, their second state championship. Only the third ever state championship for West Region boys high school hockey. Belonged to the Magicians on that day, 2-1. They had the win at the Shields Arena in Fargo. Central, the number one team in the East. Minot High, the number one team in the West. Puck is controlled in the offensive zone by the Magents. They handle here with Kinsey Field. She dumps it back in behind Black. On the retrieve there, it's worked around to the near side wall by Barrett. Comes back up to the half boards. D-zone for the Firebirds. The Magents have the Firebirds hemmed up here. It's a 2-for-2 scrub. Now another Firebird comes over to help out. That's Hool. Still a 3-for-2 scrub. It's tied up and iced on the near side wall right in between the blue line and the half boards. Out with it come the Firebirds, and it's Clemensrud who handles here. She's got a goal in the hockey game, the first of the night. 90 seconds to play here in the opening period. Devils Lake unable to clear the zone. Abby Talbot here near side trying to move it down deeper into the zone. It comes up to the point, and Taylor Cope sent it back underneath the net. Now the Firebirds have possession. Here with Herbert, far corner. Talbot took it from her. She soccered it to herself on the blocker side of the cage, but the puck is freed here to the Firebirds. Talbot's going to get it back, and now Abby Talbot in the corner spins with it with a backhand, sends it to Esslinger back behind the cage. Esslinger hits the brakes. Back underneath the net. Comes back away to Abby Talbot. Wears the clear face mask on the helmet here. Puck is picked up by the Firebirds. They try to move it ahead forward for Madison White. She does. She sends it all the way down. Will it be an icing? And Kyle Stevens says it is with 44 seconds to play here in the first. 2-0 Devils Lake on top here in this conference matchup of girls high school hockey. In a big matchup here today, Devils Lake number 5 in the state, Minot High number 6. Minot High only 2 points back, 19 for the Magents, 21 points for the Firebirds. 4 teams separated by 3 points in the conference standings. It's going to be fun down the stretch, isn't it? Puck is shot up into the Devils Lake bench and out of play, so the faceoff comes right in front of the Devils Lake bench. Rob McIver, the head coach of the Firebirds, been a nice conversation today, along with Chris Rude, the assistant coach. Faceoff will come on the glove side of Molly Black. Faceoff controlled here by the Firebirds in their own territory. They take it back behind their own net. They work it up the near side wall, trying to clear it out with Ruley. From center ice, moved back ahead by Aguirre, but it's the Firebirds right back into Magent territory. Then it's Paige Ackerman that takes it away. Ackerman got it away here to Brenna Abrahamson. She turns on the burners and skates up to center with it. She moves it into the offensive zone. All right, kids, count them down. We're at 7. Now 6, 5. Firebirds with possession of the puck, and that's how this period will end as they move it up to center ice. First 2 shots of the hockey game found the way to the back of the twine for the Firebirds. They lead 2-0 at the end of one. Minot High out shooting them heavily. However, 14-4 here in the contest. First International Bank and Trust intermission report comes up next. We'll tell you how they did it. We'll look around the standings for North Dakota boys and girls. And we'll get ready for the second. This is Minot Magents Hockey.
For lunch break when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for fun. Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement.
move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. Using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit PremierMovementND.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. PremierMovementND.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Pro Style Production Live Events specializes in making your event fun with a professional touch, whether it's a wedding, reunion, or party. Pro Style Productions event management takes the stress out of your event so you can sit back and enjoy. Contact Ben Barr from Pro Style Production today to discuss your event or visit ProStyleProduction.com. Pro Style Production Live Events. Let the pros handle it.
My name is Marshall Knott. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit MinotHockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. Trust Intermission Report. First International has you covered. Let's go back to the press box for the stats, analysis, and everything else Magi hockey.
2-0 at the end of the first period. Here at the Pepsi rink in the Magic City, the Firebirds from Devil's Lake on top of the Minot Magents, courtesy of goals in that first period coming 1 minute 56 seconds in. First one of the night was scored by Kylie Clemensrud. She was assisted on the play by number 16, Ashlyn Abrahamson. Then an even strength unassisted goal with 12:09 remaining in the period. Goal was scored by Ellie Becker, her 17th of the year. The only two goals to report in the hockey game. Shots are 14-4 in favor of the Magents. Molly Black getting a workout for Devil's Lake. She was perfect in the first. Borkus saw 4. She stopped 2 of them. First 2 that she saw found their way to the back of the net. She responded nicely with 2 big saves. there in the first period. One power play in the hockey game so far, and it went for the Magents. They were unable to convert on the extra attacker opportunity. First International Bank and Trust is a proud member of the Minot community. We stay true to our values by encouraging our staff to spend more time with family. By doing so, we spend more moments living in the moment. Member FDIC, live first. Ryan Miner, the head coach of the Minot State women's hockey team, in the house. You heard him in the press box here as we came back from break. We'll have him on in between the second and the third. Big matchup for the number 3 ranked college hockey team in the country for ladies hockey here in the Magic City. The Minot State University Beavers host the University of Minnesota here this afternoon. They host them again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. 5 o'clock today and then 1 o'clock tomorrow for Minot State women's college hockey. It will be a big one for the ladies of Minot State here this afternoon. Hey, if you're buying or selling a home, let 701 Realty's Andrew Goodmanson make your experience a positive one. Call him today at 701-240-1965. That's 701 Realty. They are the real deal in the Magic City. Andrew McKenna Goodmanson with 701 Realty for all your buying and selling needs. They do a fantastic job here in the Magic City. As promised, the stats and standings from around girls high school hockey in North Dakota. The 2019-2020 standings look like this. Fargo North-South, the top dog in all of North Dakota. They're 10-0-1, 13-2-1 overall on the year. They're the number 1 team in conference play. The Bismarck Blizzard, no surprise, they're at the top of the list again. They're 9-2 in conference play, 10-4-1 overall. Fargo Davies, number 3, they're unbeaten on the year in regulation play. They're 11-0-2 overall on the year. In conference play, they're 8-0-2. They hold down the number 3 spot. Fargo North-South's got 35 points at the top, 30 for Bismarck. Davies with 26. After that, it gets real interesting. West Fargo, number 4 right now in the state. They've got 21 points. 21 points for Devils Lake. Minot's got 19. Grand Forks has 19 and Mandan has 18. After that, it falls off a ladder. 6 for Jamestown, 5 for Dickinson. Williston with 1 point on the year. So the way these teams are going to be seated going into the North Dakota State High School Hockey Tournament at the Shields Arena at the end of February is really going to depend on the upcoming games and the remainder of the schedule. It's going to be a lot of shuffling on this list. You can almost guarantee it with how tight the points are right now. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens here in the 2019-2020 campaign as these teams come down the stretch. Here's who leads the way in girls high school hockey. Madison Brown from Bismarck, 46 points for her. That comes in 15 games. That's not a bad year, huh? By the way, she's only a freshman. 15 goals, or 15 games played. She's got more goals than games played. She's got 20 goals on the year. 26 assists for those 46 points. Riley Ball, the senior from Bismarck, has 40 points to the tune of 18 and 22. Josie Hell from Fargo North-South's got 27 points. Jerica Freezy's got 25 points. She's from Fargo North-South as well. And rounding out the top 5, Fargo North-South's Riley Bartz has 25 points as well. So all the top 5 in North Dakota right now are either from Bismarck, the top 2, and then Fargo North-South round out 3 through 5. Fargo Davies has the next 2 on the list. Morgan Savageau has 19 points for Opheim from Davies. Grand Forks, Kylie Autry and Morgan Stenseth both have 19 points as well. Paige Hansen from Davies has 17. Taylor Cope from Minot's got 17. Kaya Shaw from Minot's got 17 as well. So those numbers are really going to change as the season continues here. A lot of teams with point production all around the same mark. 16 points for Ellie Black from Devils Lake. Well, she moves up to a tie now with Kaya Shaw and Taylor Cope from Minot with her point there in the first period. Devils Lake returns to the ice. They come back to the bench. Minot High will do the same in just a moment. 5 minutes, 30 seconds away from the start of the second. We'll have the face-off when we return. Devils Lake leads Minot High 2-0 at the end of 17 minutes. This is Minot Magents Hockey.
For lunch when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for
Premier Movement. Move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. Using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit PremierMovementND.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. PremierMovementND.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestad from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Pro Style Production Live Events specializes in making your event fun with a professional touch, whether it's a wedding, reunion, or party. Pro Style Productions event management takes the stress out of your event so you can sit back and enjoy. Contact Ben Barr from Pro Style Production today to discuss your event or visit ProStyleProduction.com. Pro Style Production Live Events. Let the pros handle it.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Two nothing Devils Lake at the end of one. It's time for the second. Here from the Magic City on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network here this afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Puts a cap on the First International Bank and Trust. The intermission report. Don't forget, First International Bank and Trust stays true to their values by encouraging their staff to spend more time with family. By doing so, they spend more moments living in the moment. Member FDIC, live first. Minot High with the puck off the opening draw for the second to the blocker side of Black. Gets tied up down on the blocker side. Comes away into the possession here for the Magents and Kaya Shaw. Shaw works it from behind the net. Make that 17 rather. Comes back up to center ice from Kaylin Cope. Puck is picked up here by the Firebirds. Cope's got it back again. She'll start the rush back in offensive territory. Dumped in. Delay call coming here on the Firebirds again as the puck is worked around to the far side. Carson Abrahamson, the first one on it for the Magents. Puck now touched by the Firebirds. And the second power play of the hockey game comes out. And it will be a Magent power play here with 16:10 to play in this second period. Minot High trailing by 2. Second power play of the contest for the Magents. Shots were 14-4 at the end of one. Big part of that was the Magent power play. They're back out here. Heads from the line, sends it towards the net, knocked down. Brett Abrahamson on the retrieve for the Magents. Back up to Eds. They pass it nicely over to the half wall. Far side wing, right side of the radio dial. Puck picked up here by Paige Ackerman. Near side, she dropped it down. Comes back up to Ackerman, and Ackerman sends it in just wide of the cage. That opportunity comes off the end wall, back away to the far corner. Dropped down by Brenna Abrahamson. Back over down to Kaya Shaw. Shaw's got it here back up to the point. Ends, walks it across the blue line. Goes to Paige Ackerman, sends it in. Loose in front of the net, taken by the Firebirds as it was knocked out. And they launched that one the length of the ice. Another nice play there from Viviana Kraft. Back in behind the Minot High net. Minute 10 remains of the power play for the Magents as Carson Abrahamson picks up the puck in front of the benches. She skates over the blue line and puts it back in behind Molly Black. Puck is taken and worked up to the point. Ends holds the line. She gloves it, drops it down, comes back away underneath the goal line now, and Cope has got it here. Here's Cope onto her forehand, spins it back away to Esslinger. She's behind the net. Esslinger's got it at the goal line. Esslinger, bottom of the circle, worked it back up to Abrahamson. Abrahamson had her pass picked off there, and it goes back away to Ellie Black, but Paige Ackerman's right back in with it. She dances it down to the corner on the blocker side. Ackerman works with a half a minute of power play time, comes back up here to Tallman. Then Ackerman's got it at the goal line. She'll walk out, sent it in front, loose. Tallman fires. Oh, big save from Black. And the puck is taken and fired down the length of the ice here by the Firebirds. With 18 seconds remaining of power play time for the Magents at 14:20 to play here in the second. Minot High still trails by a pair, 2-0. Puck handled here by Esslinger. Back over center, sends it in front. Cope right in front of the net. She was knocked down on the play. And the Firebirds pick the puck up with Clemensrud, the game's first goal scorer tonight. Move back up to center ice, and it's going to be handled here by Ruley, who's fresh out of the box. Ruley takes it into the offensive zone, blocker side for the Firebirds. Moved it in front of the Minot High net, right in front of the cage. A drive came in. Borkus stones Houle right on the doorstep. 13:50 to play here in the second. The Magents trying to move it back up to center. They were unable to do so. Back on the retrieve is Aguirre, back behind her own net. Puck comes back away to the near side. This is Herman. Moved it back up to the near side wing, and Esslinger moves it down into the corner offensive zone. The Magents go for a wholesale change. A mouth guard on the ice that was pushed from the Minot High blue line back in front of the Devil's Lake bench is no longer a factor. Puck comes back behind the net of Borkus on the blocker side. Puck taken by the Firebirds. They center it right in front of the cage there from Carlson, but it's going to be moved back up to center ice, and on the retrieve is Clemensrud. Back for the Firebirds. She sends it back into Minot High territory where Enns is on the retrieve back directly behind the net. Enns is hounded there back behind the cage. Magents cough the puck up. It's loose in the circle now, and it's going to be taken by Enns up the near side wall. She tried to clear it out. She couldn't. Second attempt there from Enns. That will this time work for Madison Knutson as she moves it into offensive territory. Minot High's got it with a drive. Coming in just wide on the attempt from Fangerlund. Comes back up and held there at the line by Knutson for the Magents. Puck is handled here by the Firebirds. They send it right into traffic in front of the Minot High bench. It hit a girl that was coming off the bench as there was probably too many men on the ice for the Magents. No call on the play, and that happened about 4 times last night. Minot High about got caught there, but whistles stay in the pockets of the officials here in the Magic City. Puck is dumped back into Minot High territory on the retrieve in her own end. Picking it up was Kinsey Field. She moved it away to the near wing. Back behind the cage it comes, and Brenna Abrahamson's on the retrieve of the corner back behind Borkus' glove side. Abrahamson scrubbing for it down deep, still tied up in the corner. With it now are the Firebirds, and Abrahamson back up to the line. A drive came in and just wide from Haley Carlson over the blocker side. 11:50 to play here in the second period. Minot High trails 2-0. Back on the glove side of Borkus. It ends with the puck here. Comes back away. It's wrapped around the sideboards here to Ellie Black, and it comes back all the way back up to the blue line where across it came for the Firebirds. They send it back down to the corner. Black sends it in, and the Firebirds go for a change. Ed's trying to move it up to center. She did, too far in front of Brenna Abrahamson, so it's just whistled back in by Viviana Kraft, back in behind Borkus. Dump and chase here from the Firebirds as Kaya Shaw tries to clear for the Magents. She does, but on the retrieve is Houle. Houle moves it back away to the near side wing, and Clemensrud's right back in with it. 1 goal tonight. She's going to dance in. Clemensrud right it up. Borkus put it up towards the glove side, but she sent it wide. Puck handled down by Houle. Here's a drive that came in just wide on the side of the net was Herman trying to tip that one. It was too high there. We're down to 10:50 to play here in the second. And back with it are the Firebirds in front of Borkus. Bouncing puck down low, comes back away into the possession of Kinsey Field. She works it up the near wall. And now it's Carson Abrahamson that brings it out to center, but right at center it's Clemensrud that's there again to move it into Magi territory. Now it's taken and sent the length of the ice by the Magents. They get the icing that they need with 10:31 to play here in the second. 2-0. Firebirds on top. 10:31 to play here in the second. Face-off will be on Amber Borkus's blocker side. She's got the white CCM leg pads on with the white and black Vaughn gloves, the all-black mask with the Magenta logo right on the forehead. Here's a drive and a save, rebound, they scored. Rebound opportunity tucked home, and it looks like Carly Schneider's going to get credit with the goal. Make it 7-2. It's Ellie Black, second to the game. Period number 2, and Ellie Black has scored again, this time at 10:26 remaining in the period. Borkus made the first 2 saves, and the third one was put to the cookie jar, where the Firebirds now lead 3-0. Puck handled here by the Magents. They move it into offensive territory. Back here behind Molly Black. Puck taken there by Haley Carlson. Back up to the line it comes. Drop down in front of the net. Esslinger trying to fire one on. It's going to be picked up by Esslinger at the half boards now, as causing some trouble over there is Rulli. Nice play by her, tying the puck up right inside the top of the circle. The Magents look like they may have committed a trip on Rulli. No call on the play. Let's listen in.
Number 7, Ellie Black with an assist by number 16, Ashley Abrahamson, and number 17, Abby Rulli at 6:34 in the second period.
Rulli gets an assist, so does Abrahamson on Black's second goal of the hockey game. Puck comes back away to the far side wing, up to the far point. Handled here by the Magents as they try to move it back into offensive territory. They just sent this one down the length of the ice. Comes right on down in front of Molly Black. She let it go there for the D. That's Barron. She carries it back up through center, walks it into Minot High territory. Paige Ackerman's back on the retrieve, and Ackerman goes to Aguirre. Aguirre up to the far side wall to Madison White. And now we've got a delay in the game here as the arms up from Eric Steele, and a slashing is called on Paige Ackerman. She'll go to the sin bin here with 9:09 to play in the second, and Ackerman didn't like that call. She gives Eric Steele the evil eye as she goes to the sin bin. 9 minutes, 9 seconds to play in the second. 3-0, Firebirds on top, courtesy of Ellie Black's 17th and 18th point of the year. 2 points more on the night for Ashlyn Abrahamson. She's got 2 assists in the hockey game. The other goal for Devils Lake came from Kaylee Clemensrud. Here's the power play for the Firebirds, and Clemensrud carries up over center ice into Minot High territory. Down into the corner, Brenna Abrahamson all over Clemensrud, and Abrahamson's going to find herself a seat in the sin bin. This will be a 5-on-3 power play for the next minute 42. Abrahamson, the captain of the Magents, she doesn't like that call, but that one was as clear as the sky on a beautiful summer day. 8:51 to play here in the second. Firebirds up 3-0. They've got a minute 42 of 5-on-3 power play time. 2 penalties called on the Magents here in the second, not in the first. Minot High's had 2 power plays of their own. They haven't been able to crack Molly Black here tonight. Borkus makes the save. She'll hang on to it. Glove side will come the face-off in Minot High defensive territory. And on the draw for the Firebirds is Ellie Black. She'll go against Abby Tallman. Aguirre's out there to kill it off for the Magents. Along with 22, that was Kinsey Field. She sent that one back out to center ice, where Clemensrud starts the rush again. Black got it back away into the offensive zone. Comes Rulli. She sends it around the end boards. On the near wall, it's Ashlyn Abrahamson. 2 points for her tonight. Abrahamson looks for a goal of her own. Fired it towards the net, sent wide. Puck comes back away now, and Ashlyn Abrahamson handles again. Abrahamson down underneath the net. Nice play by Aguirre, getting the stick in the way of that one. She tried to clear the zone. She couldn't. Clemensrud holds it in. Clemensrud skates it down, fires it towards the net. Big save by Borkus on the tip side of the net. That was Abby Rulli that almost made it 4-0 on the Clemensrud attempt from the line. Nice play there, but Borkus is forced to make save number 9 in the hockey game. Firebirds still on top 3-0 with 8:05 to play here in the second. 56 seconds remains on the 5-on-3. Face-off on Amber Borkus' blocker side, back up to the point. Kaylee Clemensrud drops it down to the corner. Here's a drive in front of the net, sent just wide from Abby Rulli. Back up to the point, handling now is Haley Carlson. Back to Clemensrud. On the blocker side, Clements Root stick handles. Now she'll bring it over to the glove side. In with a drive. The shot save. Loose in front. Still on top of it is Borkus. She'll hang tight. 2 Firebirds end up on the ice. And Enns is standing over the top, protecting the goaltender. 7:42 now in the second. Still 3-0 Devils Lake. Mesa Arena here at the west side of Minot, North Dakota. The Pepsi Rink, the big venue here for the varsity athletics. Here's a drive on the side of the net that was knocked down nicely there by Madison Knudsen. This place holds 2,200 people at capacity. The bowl seating, it's like a horseshoe if you've never been here. Zamboni entrance on the north end. Here's a drive coming. Borkus with a big pad save. Venue holds 2,200 people. I'd guess there's maybe 100 in here this afternoon. Here's a drive and another pad save for Borkus. She kicks out the left pillow that time. Minot High down a man now. As out of the box comes Paige Ackerman. In front of the net. Here's a drive coming. Hat trick on the afternoon for Ellie Black. She went to the top shelf and it's 4-0. Well, the hat trick and the natural hat trick for Ellie Black. 3 in a row for her. This one with 7:01 remaining here in the second period. It will be a power play goal, and Devils Lake leads 4-0 as the shots are now at 16-16. We'll listen in for the official call and see if there's assists on the power play goal. The natural hat trick for Ellie Black. She came in with 16 points before today's matchup. The senior was number 13 in all of North Dakota for scoring. She's got 3 goals in the contest. 19 points for her after the trip so far to Magic City, and we're only halfway through. Great game for her today. Puck goes into the corner. Glove side of Borkus. Down low it comes and away. It has worked back up to the line. Here's a drive that's bounced in front of Borkus. Comes back into the possession here. The Firebirds in front of the net was Herman. Puck comes back up to center ice, pushed right back in. Let's listen in on the goals and assists.
Number 7, with her 3rd goal of the night. Ellie Black at 9:59 in the second period.
No assists on the play for Ellie Black's natural hat trick goal. Puck comes back in. Black's in front of the net. She looks for more. She takes it down to the corner as Borkus denied her. Rebound picked up here by the Magents. They try to clear it out. Ellie Black's got it again. Center slot. Black takes it down to the far side. Worked it back up to the point. Down to the corner again. Ellie Black's got it. Centering feet, a drive in front of the net. And Ashlyn Abrahamson was robbed as Borkus went down into the butterfly and made the stop. 5 minutes, 46 seconds to play here in the second. Where will that put Ellie Black in the state of North Dakota for scoring leaders? Well, Ellie Black will now have 19 points. She's going to join the top 9 with Morgan Stenseth from Grand Forks, Kylie Autry from Grand Forks, and Opheim from Fargo Davies, with Savageau from Davies as well. That's a log jam at the top of the list, all the way from number 6 on down, with Ellie Black joining that company now with 19 points on the year. 5.5 to play in the second. 4-0. Devils Lake on top. Here's a drive in front. Borkus makes a big pad save as Rulli almost made it 5-0. Now another drive from the line. And the stop was made by Borkus on the attempt there from Clemensrud. Back in behind the net. Sent in front. It came from Rulli. And now the Magents have the puck and they skated out to center ice here. Moved ahead forward here from Taylor Cope. She dumped it down to the corner. Been all Devils Lake in the contest here in the second period. They've got 2 goals in the second. They had a 5-on-3 power play. They scored on the tail end of that power play, and they have dominated the second period of play. Minot High being outshot here in the second, 14-2. Puck is controlled by the Firebirds back in their own territory. Kaylee Clemensrud trying to move it ahead forward. Puck is going to be taken by the Magents as they move it ahead forward, but it's picked up here by Clemensrud. She takes it for a stroll back in behind her own net. Worked up the sideboards, comes down into the blocker side corner. 2-for-2 scrub. About to start there as the puck is freed by the Firebirds, and out the center they come with Houle. Puck is picked up here by the Firebirds, and that's Ashlyn Abrahamson, the 8th grader, that moved it back in behind. Amber Borkus, and now the puck is sent the length of the ice like a game of shuffleboard that's way too heavy on the throw. Goes down for an icing, so with 4:04 to play in the second, we'll have a face-off in Minot High territory. It's still 4-0 Devils Lake. Join KMOT Sports Director Ben Barr for all your sports highlights from across the region. KMOT TV, not only your sports leader, your only local news in the Magic City. KMOT TV at 6 and 10 on weekdays in the Magic City. Ben Barr have the highlights of this one here today on Channel 10 in the Magic City. Alex Eisen is here as well from the Minot Daily News. Thanks again for your coverage of all the hockey at the Pepsi rink. You can read the article tomorrow or online for the Minot Daily News. We'll be seeing each other quite a bit coming up here down the stretch with tournament time right around the corner. I always love the work of Alex Eisen from the Minot Daily. On the near side wing, offensive zone for the Magents. There's a scrum for the puck. It's going to be freed now as the Firebirds skate this one up and out to center ice. And with the puck is Sky Herman. She dumps it into the offensive zone. Back in behind Borkus. Paige Ackerman back on the retrieve. Up to Brenna Abrahamson. Make that Carson Abrahamson too far in front of her. So the Firebirds headed at center. They dump it right back in with Barrett. We've played 14 minutes here in the second. Devils Lake has scored 2 more. They lead 4-0. They now lead the shot column as well at 20-16. Aguirre skates it up through center. All the way back into the offensive zone for the Magents. It's taken away, and now it's a 2-on-2 back the other way. The give-and-go pass is there. Ruli's in with it. Ruli hauled down by Ackerman. No call on the play. You can hear the Devils Lake fans come to volume inside the Pepsi rink. Back the other way, the puck is carried into the offensive zone by the Magents. It's Shaw. She's pushed off down to the corner. Shaw tried to send it up to the front of the net. Hit the back of the cage, and now there's a big hit on the far wall. That was ugly, my goodness. There's going to be a call on the play, and Kaya Shaw's going to the sim bit, and there's a player on the ice in all sorts of pain. That was Abby Ruli. She got railed from behind right in front of the Qdoba side. Right on the top of the circle on the far wall. My goodness, she's in the ice in all sorts of pain. Trinity Sports Medicine team is on the ice to attend to Abby Ruli. I don't care if it's boys hockey or girls hockey, men's or women's, youth or adult. That was a nasty hit right in front of the Qdoba side. She's still on the ice. Feet are moving. That's a good sign. We'll take a break and come back. Hopefully everything's all right with Abby Ruli on the far side wall, regardless of power play coming for the Firebirds after this. 4-0 they lead with 2:22 to play in the second. This is Minot Magents Hockey.
This presentation on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibetta Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Well, we come back with good news. Up and skating off on her own power is Abby Ruli. I mean, she was cranked on the far side wall by Kaya Shaw. That was a nasty hit from behind. 5-minute major comes of it. Frankly, I'm a little surprised that Shaw's still in the hockey game. It was that bad in my mind in front of the Qdoba side on the boards just inside the offensive zone for the Magents on the far wall. Down to the tunnel goes 17, Abby Ruli. Trinity Sports Medicine staff is still attending to her, but she skated off on her own power. Happy to see that she's okay. That was one of those hits that makes you lose your breath for a moment and look just to make sure the feet are moving after it. She's all right. Devils Lake power play. Back out. Clemensrud takes it down into the offensive zone. Puck is handled here. Back up to the line. A drive comes in. Ashlyn Abrahamson fired one on. 1 minute 55 seconds to play in the second. Puck comes all the way back up to center ice. We've got a stop in the play and a penalty called here on the Firebirds. It's going to be a roughing call on Hannah Houle. So we'll skate 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. After that, 2 minutes, 29 seconds will remain of power play time for the Magents. I'm sorry, for the Firebirds. It's 5-minute major on the Magents. Just a 2-minute penalty on the Firebirds for roughing. 5-minute major from Kaya Shaw. Trinity Sports Medicine still working on Abby Ruley. Concussion protocol is taking place. It looks over in front of the Devil's Lake, behind the Devil's Lake bench, I should say. 1 minute 35 seconds to play here in the second. Devil's Lake up 4-0. Some open ice here with the 4-on-4 for the next minute 40 as the puck is handled by Aguirre. She'll wrap it around the end wall back behind Borkus. Comes back up to the point. Puck is going to be taken here by Aguirre. She skates it up to center. She's got O'Malley Esslinger with her. Aguirre's going to walk in, fires it towards the net. Pad save is made. Puck is controlled here by the Firebirds. They move it back up to center ice, and with it comes Ellie Black. She's got the natural hat trick in the hockey game today. Puck back up to center. Lead pass for Abby Tallman. She skates in with it now as she comes in on the glove side. Takes it back behind the net. Tallman's got it. We're under a minute to play here in the second. Down to 50 seconds in the middle frame. 4-0 Devils Lake on top as Tallman back in behind the net. Handles here the left-handed shot, walks out from the goal line. She lost a handle on the puck. She gets it back down, moves it back up to Ends. Ends handles here across the blue line. Gets it back to Tallman, top of the circle. Tallman sends it in front of the net. Bouncing puck comes in on Black, and Black is going to hang on tight to it. She has not been busy by any means here in the second period. She saw 14 shots in the first. She stopped them all. She's only seen 4 here in the second, and she's been rock steady for Devils Lake here this afternoon. Borkus, on the other hand, has seen 21 total in the contest. She's been great as well. She's made some crucial saves here in this middle period. Kind of hung out to dry in my mind. Borkus has seen 21. She's given up 4 in the hockey game here today. Down to 17 seconds to play in the second. Clemensrud carries into the offensive zone. All right, kids, cut them down. We're at 10, now 9, 8, 7. Minot High with the puck in their own end. Aguirre trying to skate it up to center. We're at 3, 2. That will do it for the second. 4-0 at the end of 2 periods played. 2-0 at the end of 1. Now it's 4-0 at the end of 2. And Devils Lake in the driver's seat in this conference matchup here today from the Magic City. We'll tell you how they got the 4 on the board. We'll have all the stats and the recap of the hockey game. At the end of 2 periods, we'll also talk to Ryan Miner. He's the head coach of the Minot State women's hockey team as they prepare for a big matchup against the University of Minnesota. That comes up at the break. 4-0 at the end of 2 in favor of Devils Lake. This is Minot High Magents hockey.
On the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank.
Systems go for luxury when supper time's a crunch. T-minus now, it's time for Planet Pizza. With lots of space for fun, there's room for everyone. Don't be an alien to Planet Pizza. Space for Planet Pizza.
Premier Movement. Move better, perform better, live better. Premier Movement is personal training redefined. Using group classes that demand accountability, action, and results. Visit PremierMovementND.com to learn how you can change your life today. While you're there, you can also see how to sign up for your first workout for free. PremierMovementND.com.
Throughout the areas we serve, First International Bank and Trust employees are actively involved in helping our customers and communities grow. This is Kevin Vigestead from First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Whether it's coaching a Little League team, leading through involvement with nonprofit organizations, or a proud Beaver booster, know that all of us at First International Bank and Trust are committed to giving back to the places where we live and work.
Pro Style Production Live Events specializes in making your event fun with a professional touch, whether it's a wedding, reunion, or party. Pro Style Productions Event Management takes the stress out of your event so you can sit back and enjoy. Contact Ben Barr from Pro Style Production today to discuss your event or visit prostyleproduction.com. Pro Style Production Live Events. Let the pros handle it.
Hi, my name is Marshall Knott. I'm the manager of the UPS store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you, and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit minothockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know, who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International has you covered. Let's go back to the press box for the stats, analysis, and everything else Magi hockey.
4-0 at the end of 2 periods played. Devils Lake on top of the Majettes. Here in this conference matchup this afternoon here at the Pepsi Rink in the Magic City. Nick Colbert, glad to have you aboard for the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. First International Bank and Trust is a proud member of the Minot community. They stay true to their values by encouraging their staff to spend more time with family. By doing so, they spend more moments living in the moment. Member FDIC, live first. Here's the recap of the scoring. 2 were scored in the first by Devils Lake. First one came a minute 54 in. The goal was scored by number 15, Kaylee Clemensrud, the senior. She was assisted on the play by Ashlyn Abrahamson. Then at 12:09 remaining in the period, an unassisted goal was scored by number 7, Ellie Black, her 17th point of the year. At the end of one, Minot High was peppering Devils Lake in the shot column 14-4. We get into the second period, a much different story in the second, and the shots completely reversed. 17 shots on goal for Devils Lake compared to the 4 that Minot threw the way of Molly Black, and it was a difference maker in the contest. 2 goals were scored. First one at 10:26 remaining, the next one at 7:01 remaining, and guess who? Back-to-back goals for Ellie Black in the second. That's a natural hat trick on the afternoon. Second one was unassisted. The first one in the second for her was assisted by number 16, Ashlyn Abrahamson, and number 17, Abby Ruley. So Abrahamson's got 2 points today, 3 points on the day for number 7, Ellie Black, in the form of the natural hat trick. Clemensrud's got an assist, and an assist for Abby Ruley as well. Nick Colbert now joined by Ryan Miner, the head coach of the Minot State Women's College Hockey Team. First of all, Coach, thanks for a little bit of time today here at your pregame.
Thanks for having me, Nick.
You guys come into today's matchup in a big one at the Pepsi Rink here this afternoon. University of Minnesota Golden Gophers are in town here today, and you have a matchup. You're the number 3 team in the country. They're number 7. My goodness, how big of a matchup is this for you guys here today?
Well, you know, Nick, it's huge for both teams. First chance to take a look at the team this year. Obviously, we played them last year when we were in Division II. we got the 4-game sweep against them, but it's a new season, new year. Every year they seem to have some talent, Minnesota kids who wanted to stay close to home, and it's a game that we're not going to be able to take lightly. They're going to come out. These games are just as important as they are for us, so they're going to be playing their best hockey, and we got to respond to that.
Should be a good one today. You've got some players on your team that are putting up some points, but what I see the most when looking at the stats is that there's a lot of distribution on your score sheet. It looks like you've got 4 lines that can run at any time. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, the second half, as of right now, knock on wood, everyone's healthy. It's nice that we can run through all 4 lines throughout the game, and everyone's contributed. Obviously, we've seen a lot of production from our upperclassmen, but we have some freshmen in there who have really stepped into that role and are making some big plays for us. But it's nice to have a full roster. First half we had some injuries, so we were a little light on the back end and even up front. But now with everyone healthy so far, everyone's going and everyone's giving their all.
It's pretty interesting to see a whole lineup. Usually when you look at stats, and it's something that obviously as hockey guys we do that all winter long and all summer long looking at stuff, but you've got a lineup where the only 3 players in your lineup without a point on the year are your 3 goaltenders. Oftentimes you don't see that. And the goaltending side of things, they don't need to be scored any points because these young ladies for you have been sensational. Talk about your goaltending situation at Minot State.
Well, 3 very strong goaltenders this year. Obviously we have Shelby, who's a senior, and then we have the 2 freshmen, Jordan and Lexi. Obviously, Jordan solidified herself over the last couple months as that go-to goalie. She's been sensational for us, especially last weekend against Adrian in Miami. But at the same time, the other 2 are right there with her, and when they get their opportunity, they're going to take advantage of it. So,
Minot State against the University of Minnesota, the Golden Gophers today, 3 against number 7. You guys play again tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. For you moving forward with national rankings, how do you look at games like this, a 3 against 7? Is this a must-win in your mind today? Is that the word in the room?
Well, every game's a must-win. For us, our mentality is we don't lose at home. We're undefeated this year at home. Same with last year. We obviously want to show our fans our program and our talent, and the biggest thing, obviously, we want these 2 wins, but at the same time, the girls going into today's game know that they're on their home ice and they're not going to let anyone stop them from getting those wins this weekend.
You had the chance to sit here and watch this girls matchup, Devils Lake at Minot High today. O'Malley Esslinger signed with the Beavers yesterday. It's very interesting to see the progression of North Dakota girls high school hockey. Touch on that today. Obviously seeing some girls here that probably have to be catching your eye, hey?
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously North Dakota hockey has always been pretty big in the area. Definitely a lot of talent on that Minot team and Devils Lake too. We have, like you said, O'Malley Esslinger's joining the program next year. We have a couple Bismarck girls that have signed and will be on the program next year. And just building our program, being so new, we didn't have the opportunity to have the chance to recruit these local girls because a lot of them didn't know how competitive a program we were. Obviously, as we continue to grow and step into where we are, people are starting to take recognition, and we're finally starting to see these local girls want to stay close to home and want to play for a competitive program.
Sure appreciate your time today. Best of luck here this weekend against the University of Minnesota, and keep up the great work.
Thanks, Nick.
That's Ryan Bonner, the head coach of the Minot State women's hockey team, number 3 in the country. If you're in the Magic City today, come on out and check out the Beavers women's action this afternoon. They play at 5 o'clock and again tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon here at the Pepsi Rink. University of Minnesota, the Golden Gophers. Not often do you hear that the Golden Gophers are in town, but they are today for this women's college hockey matchup. Hope you can make your way over to the rink or join them tomorrow here at the Pepsi Rink, possibly if you're unable to make it here today. Minot High returns to the ice. Devils Lake, they didn't even go back to their locker room. They stayed on the bench in between the second and the third. Not exactly sure what that was about, but nevertheless, both teams are back to the ice. We'll take our final break in the First International Bank and Trust Intermission Report. We'll come back and face off the third. Minot High's got a hill to climb. They trail 4-0 at the end of 2. Third is next. This is Minot Majets Hockey.
On Style Production Broadcast Network is brought to you by IMM, Minot's finest collision center, Premier Chiropractic, Ralph's Plumbing and Heating, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Shields, Buffalo Wild Wings, Vibeto Orthodontics, Duffy's Hockey and Sports, Bremer Bank, the Minot Hockey Boosters, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, United Agronomy, Homesteaders, First Western Bank and Trust, Granite Springs, and First International Bank. Let's go to the ice with the voice of the Magi. Here's Nick Holber.
Third period is upon us here at the Pepsi Rink at Mesa Arena. We'll start the third period with 9 seconds of 4-on-4 action. After that, that major power play time will remain for Devils Lake. They've got 2 minutes, 29 seconds of that remaining. After this 9 seconds, will wear off the clock of 4-on-4. The new recruit for the Beavers, O'Malley Esslinger, in on the draw, but it's won by Black, and it's worked into the Minot High defensive zone. A shot comes in on Borkus here to start our third period. Hammer was equal to that stop. Into the offensive zone come the Magents, shorthanded. O'Malley Esslinger back underneath the net. Comes back away to the near side for Brenna Abrahamson. Abrahamson in the corner. Bless me, I just sneezed there. That's usually something that doesn't happen. 16:25 to play in the second. Puck is worked back. I think it was Miners Cologne maybe made me allergies come alive there. Here's a drive that comes in. That one went just wide. Puck is picked up on the blocker side of Borkus. It's handled back around to the point and sent back down underneath the net. Drive comes from Clemensrud. It's taken by the Magents. They take it and launch it all the way down 200 feet. Out of the net to play it was Molly Black. She's seen 18 in the contest. She hasn't given up a goal here today. 2 shutouts in her last 4 games for the Firebirds. They ride a 4-1 mark coming into tonight's contest. They look good here out of the corner. Clemensrud turns a hard wrist shot towards the net. Knocked down there, and the Magents clear back up to the far point. Held in. Now it's going to be worked by Abrahamson to the Firebirds. A shot save. Rebound turned away there by the Magents. And it's taken by Abby Tallman, and she fires it all the way down the length of the ice. Molly Black left at 2 feet left of the cage. Puck is picked up here by the Firebirds. They work it away with Haley Carlson. Comes back to ends. Front of the net, wide open, a drive. Oh, Molly Black, point blank. Went down to the butterfly and made the stop. She robbed Taylor Culp of the goal. Black has been good. Stop was made. 15-15 to play here in the second. Still 4-0 in favor of the Firebirds, courtesy of the superb goaltending here today from Molly Black. Minot High had the dramatic win in the shootout yesterday over Grand Forks. Might have used up the gas in the tank possibly yesterday afternoon. Shot comes in on Borkus. She makes the save. And the drive is gobbled and held. Faceoff will come on Amber Borkus' glove side. Paige Ackerman, that was the only player to score in the shootout yesterday. She made the stop. She put a stop to the shootout when she scored in the second round, I should say. Puck is tied up off the draw. Devils Lake has control back in the offensive zone, back behind Borkus. Puck is sent in front, still loose, taken here and swept away by the Magents. Brenna Abrahamson clears it out of the zone. We're down to 16 seconds of the major power play time. It was the checking from behind call on Kaya Shaw. That was a big hit from Kaya Shaw. Seems that everybody's all right after the hit there. The Jets are now at full strength. Puck is taken here by Esslinger. Out to center ice. Brenna Abrahamson takes it and sends it back in behind Molly Black. She wandered onto the net to play it. Back in behind. Puck is picked up here by the Firebirds. Away comes Kraft. She spins away in the corner. Puck is taken away there by the Magents. Handled now back to the point. Tallman sent it up to the near side point where Field took it and worked it back underneath the goal line. At the goal stripe, it's going to be handled underneath the net. Carson Abrahamson down low. Trying to move it back away there to Taylor Cope. taken away by the Firebirds. They start the rush back up to center, and here comes Ruley. Ruley's going to cross over the Minot High stripe with it. Ruley tied up by two. Magenta Geary was one of them. Tallman was the other, and Tallman with a backhand had her pass picked off, and it comes right back into her possession, so she just wraps it around the near boards, and it comes all the way back out to center. Back in the Devil's Lake zone, it's picked up here by Clemensrud. She got the scoring started this afternoon. Puck was fired down the length of the ice, and an icing is called here on the Firebirds, with 13:15 to play in the second. Minot High, the boys hockey team, is on the road today. They're in Grand Forks to take on the Grand Forks Central Knights. We'll post a link for the broadcast. It will be delivered by Ryan Cunningham from Grand Forks. You can listen to Minot High play later on today if you'd like. Matchup probably already underway over in Grand Forks. 3 o'clock was the face-off time there. Have to assume they're already underway. Next broadcast of the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network will be a Tuesday night affair from Botno at the Lumber Dome. Minot High will be in Botno to take on Ian Amsbaugh and the Botno Braves. Amsbaugh, the leading point getter in North Dakota boys high school hockey. 41 points for him coming in 12 games. It's not too bad, huh? Here's a drive in front of the net. Black makes a stop. Rebound loose in front of the blue paint. Puck is taken down to the corner. And with possession now, it's Madison Knudsen. Knudsen walks out into the circle. A drive. She sent it towards the net. It went wide, but then it's touched by the Firebirds. They're going to be charged with an interference call, so Minot High gets their 4th power play of the hockey game. Interference is the call, and to the sin bin goes Haley Carlson. So yes, the next game of the Pro Style Production Network will be on Tuesday from Botno. Then we'll have a matchup in Mandan on Thursday. Those are the next two in the high school ranks. Larry McFall will have the call of the play-by-play. I'll do the color commentary from the Lumber Dome and the legendary Lumber Dome in Botno on Tuesday night. I don't know what Mr. McFall's more excited for, the annual game of play-by-play that he'll do or the stop at the Pizza Hub up in Botno. Kind of been a tradition of ours the last few years. Here's a drive, top shelf. Oh, Melly Esslinger scores. Puts it to the cookie jar. The Magents score on the power play with 12:04 to play here in the third. Esslinger's going to get the goal for O'Malley Esslinger on the year. That's point number 17. She signed at Minot State yesterday. We just talked to the head coach of the Beavers college hockey team on the ladies' side. He's got to be smiling as his newest recruit puts one to the top shelf. Let's see if there's an assist on the play. Esslinger with the puck again, back in behind the net. Worked around to the far side point. Ackerman up there to hang tight to it. Taken away here by Ruley. She's in all alone, top shelf, and Ruley puts it home. Well, it's now 5-1 as Devil's Lake gets the goal. We were listening in. And as we were, a breakaway formed for Abby Ruley, and Ruley puts it to the top shelf. Here in the third period, 5-1. Devil's Lake with the lead. Time of the goal, 11:41. We'll listen in. Puck is controlled by the Magents. Brenna Abrahamson back in the offensive zone. Here's a drive that came in. Black made the stop, and it's turned away. Down to the corner. Carson Abrahamson scrubbing forward here underneath the net. Here's the goal call for the Firebirds.
Abby Ruley with an assist from number 20, Haley Carlson at 5:18 in the third period.
So give an assist to Haley Carlson on Ruley's goal. It's 5-1 Firebirds with 11:03 to play here in the third period. On the glove side of Borkus. Puck is tied up. Brenna Abrahamson down low in the defensive zone. It's going to be freed here to Ends, and Ends sweeps it around the sideboards, gets it to Carson Abrahamson. Delayed call coming here on the Firebirds, so up to center ice with it. Abrahamson will take it down into the offensive corner on the glove side. Firebirds will touch up, and the 5th power play of the night will come out for the Magents. 10:41 to play here in the third. Still 5-1 Firebirds. Penalty was called. We'll wait and hear what the call was. I missed what it was. Interference maybe in the offensive zone for the Firebirds. They didn't put the number of the player on the clock, so our apologies. We'll have to wait to listen in. Regardless, it's the 5th power play of the night for the Magents. They just scored. O'Malley Aslinger picked up point number 17 on the year. Here, let's listen in.
2-minute minor for checking at 6:19, third period.
2-minute checking penalty was called.
Checking at 6:19.
Apologies, didn't catch who the penalty was called on. Was not able to hear it inside the rink. Unable to understand it, I should say. Comes back up at the point. Desslinger's got it here. Eslinger spins away up to the point. Ackerman handles. Now Ackerman sends it in. Oh, they scored! Ackerman from the line, tipped in front, and the Magents are back within 3. It's 5-2 on another power play goal. Minot High trailing 4-0 at the end of 2. They have found themselves back in the hockey game now with another power play goal. Let's see if it's Paige Ackerman that gets the full credit with it, or was it tipped in front of the net? It's either going to be Ackerman or Taylor Cope, I do believe. We'll listen in. Right back in with it come the Magents in front of the net to Black on the blocker side. Puck is worked back up to center. Here, let's listen in.
6:55 in the third period with their first goal of the game. Number 17, Taylor Cope. With an assist by number 9, Paige Ackerman. Cope from Ackerman. Power play
So it is
goal
Cope from
at
Ackerman.
6:55.
Cope's 17th point of the year. Goal number 12 for her. Make that point number 18 on the year. Goal number 12. Puck comes back into the offensive zone here for Ellie Black. She's done her part in the hockey game. She had the natural hat trick in between the first and second frames. 9:18 to play in the third. Minot High trails 5-2. Up to center ice with the puck. Handling here for the Magents and dumping it down. Kinsey Field puts it back in behind the net of Black. Puck is picked up by the Firebirds in their own territory. Avery make that 15 on the other side. That's Kaylee Clemens-Root. Sends it all the way back in behind the Minot High net to Borkus. Puck is picked up here and worked back away to the near side wall right in front of Borkus. Puck is picked up here by the Magents and it's sent around there by Kinsey Field. Back to Field. Her pass was picked off momentarily. Now it's going to be taken out to center ice where it's moved ahead forward there by Taylor Cope. Game's most recent goal scorer, but she's charged on the icing. 8:36 to play here in the final frame. 5-2, Minot High trailing the Devils Lake Firebirds. Shots are now 26-24. Devils Lake has the advantage in that category as well. Off the draw, Borkus' glove side. Aguirre moves it around to the far wall. Tried to feed it up to Carson Abrahamson. She couldn't clear the zone. Devils Lake is there to hold it. Now it's Abrahamson that fires this one the length of the ice, but the Magents will be charged with the icing. Don't forget, if you're buying or selling a home, let 701 Realty's Andrew Goodmanson make your experience a positive one. Call him today at 701-240-1965. That's 701 Realty here in the Magic City. Stick around, by the way, tonight for the Pro Style Production post-game show. We'll have our Minot's Finest Collision Center stars of the game mentioned here in this one. Ackerman takes it down into the offensive zone. Paige Ackerman back to the point for Aguirre. Puck hopped over her stick, and now it's in the possession of the Firebirds. They start the rush back to center. Clemens-Root, who had the game's first goal tonight, takes it down. Clemens-Root on the blocker side, back in behind the net. Down for a stroll, back behind the cage. Black with the puck. She controls underneath the goal line. Goes back away to Carson Abrahamson. She just sends it up the wall. Held in by Clemens-Root. Comes back into the possession here for Ackerman. Ackerman off the wall, taken there by Carson Abrahamson. She moved it up to center ice. She was hit from behind. Puck comes back away on the near side wing and into the zone comes Ruley for the Firebirds. Right in front of Borkus with 7:20 to play here in the third period. Puck comes back up to the point, taken away here by the Jets. They try to clear the zone. They can't. Ellie Black from the corner sends it back up to the top of the circle, came back down to Black, and now it's picked up here by Aguirre for the Magents, trying to clear it out. They can't. Held in nicely at the line there by Barrett. Back in behind Borkus, comes up front into the center slot, and it's the Magents in a 3-on-2 the other way. Make it a 2-on-2 now. Nice defensive play there. That was Barrett that got a stick of the way. Puck was taken by the Firebirds. They carry it back in about an high territory. Really sent one off the blocker of Borkus. Back into the offensive zone. The Magents trying to push it. Went off of Abby Talbot up into the Devil's Lake bench. And we'll have a stop in the play. And a face-off coming back at center ice. 6:45 to play here in the third period. 5-2. Minot High trailing Devil's Lake. Thanks for joining us on the Pro Style Production Broadcast Network. Make sure to like the Pro Style Production Network on Facebook to stay up to date with all the broadcast news and the teams that we cover from the Magic City and across North Dakota. It's about to be the busy time of the year with region and tournament time right around the corner. Puck is controlled by the Firebirds in their own territory. Puck is tied up on the half boards. Minot Magents scrubbing for Talbot in there to help out. It's a 2-for-3 scrum. Firebirds have an extra girl in there working on it. That's Madison White that came in to help out. Magents are out with it. Esslinger from the line sent it towards the net. Puck was knocked down. Then it's Enns that skated all the way down to the half boards and moved it back in behind the net. Puck is taken here. Worked back up to the line. Held in by Esslinger. She fires it towards the net. Went wide. Puck is picked up by Enns at the blue line. It hopped over her stick. She now moves it away to her partner. Nice play there for Kinsey Field. And Field spins it in front of the Magi bench. Taken away here momentarily by Esslinger. Still a scrum forward at the neutral ice zone. Right in front of the Devil's Lake bench. They're just going to ice this one down with 5:39 to play here in our third period. Faceoff will come back to the glove side of Molly Black, the junior goalkeeper. Molly came into tonight's hockey game almost identical numbers to Amber Borkus. Black came in with a .926 save percentage and a .193 goals against average. She's had an excellent junior campaign, one of the tops in the state of North Dakota. Out to center ice come the Firebirds. Ashlyn Abrahamson sent it across to Ruley. Puck was knocked down on the attempt. Geary had it momentarily, but back in behind the net it comes here for the Firebirds with Ruley. Comes back up to center ice, pushed up there. But at center, waiting for it was Barrett. She just moved it ahead forward, and then the Magents just take it and ice it all the way down again into the far corner. Icing was waved off by Kyle Stevens. Clemensrud picks it up. Man, she can skate. Up to center ice she comes. Walks in over the Minot High stripe. Clemensrud, side of the net. Sends it in front for Ellie Black. It was picked off there momentarily by Paige Ackerman. Ackerman's going to get it back in the corner. She sweeps it away to the far wing. Puck is tied up here, and with the puck, a drive comes in. Bork is forced to make the save. It went off the face mask there as the shot attempt was from Abby Ruley. 4 minutes, 42 seconds to play in the third period. It's 5-2 Devils Lake on top. Borkus took that one right on the face mask, kind of on the neck. They call that plastic piece a goater. It's there to protect the neck. She had to adjust the mask. She did. She's all right. Face-off will be on her blocker side. Puck is handled here, moved ahead forward by the Magents. Straight king in. This is Cope. Puck was too far in front of her. She had to retrieve it in the corner. Picked up now here by Abby Tallman. Tallman centers it in front to Esslinger. Esslinger's got it, turns it towards the net. It was knocked down as it hit traffic in front. Puck comes back up to center ice. Paige Ackerman on the retrieve. Ackerman sends it back away on the near side. Up to Esslinger, then into the zone they come with Cope, but it's taken here by the Firebirds off the wall from Kraft. Near side wing, left side of the radio dial, back with it. Handling for the Magents, they're back in with the attempt from Cope. Came to Esslinger, loose in front of the net. Puck is picked up here now by Houle, and she'll skate it up to center. Under 4 to play in the third period. It's 5-2 in favor of the Firebirds. Natural hat trick is the storyline here tonight for Ellie Black. 3 goals, all in order on the score sheet tonight. Points 17, 18, and 19. On a bad night, eh? 3:30 to play here in the third period. Firebirds with the puck back in their own territory. They flip this one up to center and then into Minot High territory. Brenna Abrahamson's back on the retrieve. She takes it back behind her own net. She starts the rush up to neutral. Trying to go over to Carson Abrahamson. Too far in front of her and right back the other way come the Firebirds. They send it into Magenta territory. Minot High pushes it back out to center there with Kinsey Field. Here come the Firebirds back the other way with Ellie Black. Through the neutral zone. It's going to be taken down to Abby Ruley in the glove side corner where she's tied up there with Kinsey Field. Firebirds with control of the puck down low. Ellie Black had it again momentarily. Now it's Ruley. Sends it in front one-timer. The attempt was there. Black on the doorstep. A drive. Save. Rebound. The Firebirds have scored. And it's Ashlyn Abrahamson that puts it home. Abrahamson from Black is going to be the call here for Devils Lake. With 2:39 left in the third period. And it's 6-2. Shots are 30-25 here in this hockey game. These are two evenly matched hockey teams. Only five-shot difference in the contest. You look at the standings and what both teams have done. It's pretty much equal on paper as well. Let's listen in. Meanwhile, Esslinger's back in with it. Esslinger.
Number 7, Ellie Black at 14:21.
So it was Black on the assist from Abrahamson. Esslinger had the chance at the other end of the ice. She put one towards the cage. It hit traffic. Picked up now by the Magents in their own territory. They'll start the rush back up to center. Into the offensive zone with it. This is Cope firing it wide. We're under 2 minutes to play here in the third. Minot High needs a prayer if they want a chance to win this hockey game today. And the way that Molly Black has played, you can pretty much stamp a guarantee that the Firebirds are going to pick up another win here this afternoon. And if that's the case, they'll improve their record to 8-5 in conference play and 10-5 overall in the year. Minot High is going to fall today to 7-5-2, 5-5-2 in conference play. With the puck back in behind the Minot High net. Paige Ackerman's on the retrieve. Move back up to center. Sent back in behind the goaltender Borkus. On the retrieve is Aguirre. She skates over to it on the near side. Aguirre just had the puck taken off her stick. Minot High looks tired in the late portion of the hockey game. Puck is taken and moved back out to neutral ice and then into the possession here on the near side wing from Haley Carlson.
1 minute remaining in third period. 1 minute.
Paige Ackerman's back in her own territory to pick it up. We're under a minute to play here in our third period. Puck is taken and sent all the way down by Ackerman. And we'll have an icing on the play with 47.8 seconds left here in the contest. Faceoff will be on the blocker side of Amber Borkus. Not very often do you see Borkus give up 6 in the hockey game, but tonight was the night that there was just not a whole lot Borkus could do about it. She gave up 6 against Bismarck. She gave up 3 against Devils Lake in the 3-2 loss the last time these two teams played. She gave up 4 against Fargo North-South. Other than that, she's had goose eggs on the year. She's given up 3 or less. 6 is a big margin here today. Again, I don't believe any of them have been her fault. It's just one of those days. Minot High took their foot off the gas pedal completely in the second period. They got outshot in the second. 17-4. After they outshot Devils Lake in the first 14-4, but they trailed 2-0 at the end of one period. They trailed 4-0 at the end of 2, and now it's 6-2 here in the third. Elbowing call at the end of the hockey game, and Ellie Black's going to have to sit for 2 minutes. 17.6 seconds left here in this third period. Face off on the blocker side of Black. In on the draw, and the puck is controlled by the Magents. Get ready to cut them down, kids, for the final time. Today we're at 10. Now 9, 8, 7. Puck is taken here by the Magents. Here comes the horn. will do it this afternoon. Devils Lake gets the win. 6-2 is the final. Pro Style Production postgame show is next. We'll tell you how they did it. This is Minot High Majets Hockey.
Store here in Minot. I've had many customers express being frustrated with the P.O. box they once had. They didn't realize they couldn't have packages delivered to their P.O. box. It's why they now have a personal mailbox here at the UPS store. We'll accept the packages for you and you can pick them up when it's best for you. For a more efficient business, visit us at the UPS store. We're at 1940 South Broadway or online at theupsstore.com.
Minot Hockey Boosters has one mission: to inspire teamwork, pride, and life lessons in the lives of all our members. Hockey is more than a sport, it's a way of life. The benefits of playing hockey from a young age last a lifetime. Visit MinotHockey.com for more information or to get signed up in the Learn to Play program today. Minot Hockey Boosters. The strength of the pack is the wolf. The strength of the wolf is the pack.
Hello, I'm Steve Funningsland, consumer lender at First Western Bank and Trust and sports enthusiast. Employees at First Western know the importance of teamwork in their day-to-day banking duties to best serve the community. I know the Minot and surrounding area high school and college athletic teams know the importance of teamwork as well. We want to wish all local teams good luck in their athletic endeavors this year. Stay safe on the courts, on the fields, on the rinks, and in the gyms. We look forward to watching you succeed. With familiar faces you know who know you by name, First Western Bank and Trust, you can bank on us, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
6-2 is the final here this afternoon. Devils Lake gets the win in this girls high school hockey matchup. It's the Pro Style Production postgame show. Here's the scoring recap of the hockey game. Here's how it went down today in the 6-2 win for Devils Lake. At 15:04 remaining in the first period, the goal was scored by Kylie Clemensrud. She started the scoring tonight for the Firebirds. Ashlyn Abrahamson had the assist on the play. Devils Lake scored again in the first period, an even strength goal with 12 minutes remaining in the first. The goal was scored by number 7, Ellie Black, her 17th point of the year. At the end of one, Minot High outshot Devils Lake by a 14-4 margin, but it was 2-0 Firebirds. Into the second, 10:26 remaining on the clock. The second goal of the night was scored by Ellie Black. She was assisted by number 16, Ashlyn Abrahamson, and number 17, Abby Ruley. That would put the lead for Devils Lake up to 3-0. They were on the power play then with 7:01 remaining in the second. An unassisted goal, and the natural hat-trick goal was scored by Ellie Black. Her 19th point of the year. Not a bad day for her. Shots of the second, 17-4 Devils Lake. Boy, did the tide turn there. 14-4 for Minot High in the first. They got outshot 17-4 in the second by the Firebirds. Into the third period, we'd go with Minot High trailing 4-0, and Minot High got on the board with a goal from O'Malley Esslinger. She was assisted by Paige Ackerman just about 6 minutes into the third period. But just moments later, I mean, bing, bang, boom, back on the other end of the ice. It was Abby Ruley that tucked home the goal. She had the assist coming by the way of Haley Carlson. So the score was 5-1. Minot High then scores again, this time at 10:04 remaining. And the goal was scored by the Magents. Cope, 2 points in 2 days for her. Paige Ackerman had another assist on the play. But it was a little too late because Devils Lake scored again with 2:39 remaining, and the goal was scored by Ashlyn Abrahamson. She was assisted on the play by Ellie Black. 6-2 the final here today. Final shots 32-25 in favor of Devils Lake. 26 saves for Borkus on the other side, 23 saves on the day for Molly Black. 6-2 is the final here this afternoon at the Pepsi Rink. In girls high school hockey, with the loss today, Minot High falls to a record on the year. The Magents fall to the record of 5-5-2. It's 7-5-2 overall now for the Magents. Devils Lake improves to a record of 8-5 in conference play, 10-5 overall on the year.
It's time for the Minot's Finest Collision Center stars of the game. Minot's Finest Collision Center. We are Minot's Finest.
Time for our stars of the game, brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center. They're all going to be coming from the Firebirds here today. My third star of the game goes to the goaltender, Molly Black. She was huge in the first period, kept the Firebirds in it. She was big in that first frame. She'll get my nod for the number 3 star of the game. Second star of the game today will be number 16 for the Firebirds. That's Ashlyn Abrahamson. She had a 3-point game today, 2 assists and a goal in the contest. And no surprise here, the number 1 star of the game, Ellie Black, the natural hat trick and the assist. A 4-point day for her, 20 points now here on the year for the Firebirds. Special thanks to Ryan Modern for stopping by for the conversation in between the second and the third. Thanks to all those sponsors that make our Pro Style Production Broadcast Network broadcast possible. Thanks to you, the listeners, for joining us here today. Minot High falls to Devils Lake. 6-2 is the final. We're back in action on the Pro Style Production Network Tuesday night from the Lumber Dome in Botno for Minot High boys hockey. We'll have the Planet Pizza pregame show for you at 7:10. Until then, hope you enjoy the weekend. I'm heading to an ice fishing tournament. Wish me luck there. Minot High falls 6-2 to the Firebirds from Devils Lake. This has been a Pro Style Production Network presentation. Until next time, good night and God bless.